Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at an ultra affordable tank Homage from the brand Sanda. These can be had for $19 from Aliexpress as of the time of recording, but I got mine for even cheaper at $11. I've recently come across several positive reviews on this watch, so I thought for around the same cost of a cheap NATO, I just had to try one out. Let's get on with the review, starting with a look at the case. It's a chrome-plated alloy material, I believe, and wouldn't really expect stainless steel at this price point. I don't even think this watch deserves to be scrutinized under macro levels given how cheap it is, so we won't be doing that at any point in this review. As you can see, edges aren't that precise but not disappointing either. Highly polished stainless steel case back held in by 4 standard screws with some kind of laser etched branding. Let's take a few measurements. That's 24mm across, 30mm from lug to lug, 6mm thin, with an 18mm lug width. I don't have a real Cartier for comparison, but if we check on their website, those dimensions would be nearly identical to those of the small tank must. In fact, as you can see, this watch is trying to be a one-to-one replica of the original. Let me put it beside this A158 to give you a better idea on the size. Now let's have a look at the dial. This, by the way, is mineral crystal according to Sanda's product page. It may appear white when viewed from certain angles, but the dial actually has a very subtle metallic silver finish. The markers and inner minute track are printed to a good standard in my opinion. They're actually slightly raised with a really deep and glossy finish, more like a thick layer of wet ink. Again, I don't expect this to be flawless under macro. In fact, the minute track can get a bit sloppy, but overall I think printing is mostly crisp and really good for the price. Nothing bad to say with those blue hands either. The crown looks like a copy of the original too, with a blue piece of plastic, I guess, to mimic that gem on the Cartier. It pulls out in just one position for setting the time. Ground action is pretty good and smooth, and as you can see, pushing it back in doesn't cause any slight jump on the minute hand, as can be the case with some cheap quartz movements. Let's take a look at the strap. It says genuine leather at the back, but I wouldn't believe that. It looks and feels cheap, but it's actually soft and comfortable, seriously. The strap has a very slight taper from 18mm at the lugs down to about 16 at the clasp. It has a rather unique clasp mechanism here, which I think is again a copy of the one on the large must. Any excess length of strap is tucked in this end for adjustment. Then this part simply latches over to fasten. These pointed edges over here are extremely sharp. I actually scratched my finger quite bad earlier trying to fiddle with the fastener, which can be really frustrating to get in and out of position. I honestly had no expectations for the price that I paid for this watch, and I'm mostly pleased until I try changing the strap. These indents that hold the spring bar are not aligned. Only on this side of the case though. Well, that shouldn't be obvious if you fit in thicker straps, but I do like wearing my watches on thinner fabric ones most of the time. I'm sure no one else will notice, but that slant on the strap is just something I can't unsee. I'm sure this is just a quality control issue that shouldn't be present with every copy of this watch. I know some may see this acceptable for the price, but not for me. So is it worth the money? In my opinion, yes, if you've been eyeing that Cartier for some time but still unsure if a small rectangular case would work for you. This is the cheapest option that offers a nearly identical experience. I'd actually suggest getting one first before splurging on the real thing. But know if you're sure of the tank and looking for a cheaper alternative. If you see getting much use out of this style of watch, I think it's worth looking at practically priced options from Seiko, Rotary, and Vario. Hope you found this quick review helpful. I truly appreciate it if you can consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.